Hello, my name is Rory Bogan, and my project partner is Leonardo Oyama. We're going to go ahead and use Maya, and in this video we're going to show you how to use Blendshapes to create animations for your characters. So I have Maya open. The first thing I want to have open right now is the outline window. So window outliner. Now the first basic step, you want to select the mesh that you want to duplicate. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the mesh, and I use Control D to duplicate the mesh. Now if I go down here in the outliner, I could see that it's created a duplicate. I'm going to double click on it, and I'm going to rename it something meaningful. I'll call it Happy Face. Now, as you can see, it's also positioned exactly in the same spot, so that's not very helpful. So I'm going to press W so that I can move the mesh. And now that I've pressed W, I can drag the handle and pull it away. So now I have my separate mesh, and what I want to do now is I want to edit it and make it look like a happy face. So I'll go into position. Now the first thing I want to do now is I want to be in vertex mode, so I'm going to right click and select vertex. And now I want to select a vertex that would be a good location to pull up or down or however it wants to move to make it look like a happy face. So I'm going to select something on the side of the mouth, left click, and if I want to expand this brush size, I can go ahead and press B and then drag left click and modify my brush swath. So that looks about good. Now I want to duplicate that on an opposite side, so I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to select another vertex. So we'll say this one over on the opposite side of the mouth. And I'm going to drag this handle and move it and position it kind of in a good way. I'm going to move it into, or move it back, and this animation won't be perfect, but I just want to exaggerate it so you can get the idea of what it's doing. You can select multiple vertices, make it look however pretty you want, but now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and click off the mesh and go back to object mode, right click, select object mode. Now that I've modified my second mesh, I want to go ahead and create the actual blend shape. So I'm going to select these two meshes, but the order in which I select them is important. I want to select the one that I used that was the duplicate first, and then I'm going to hold shift and select the original. And to do the blend shape, you want to be in the animation menu first of all. Go to create deformers and then click on the box next to blend shape. The really important thing here is you want to have this in between box checked. And I'm going to name this series, so I'm going to call it facial expressions. Once that all looks good, go ahead and click create. Now I've created that, and I'm going to go ahead and select the original mesh, and over in the attribute editor I should see my blend shape. There it is, facial expressions. So now that I have the blend shape, I want to adjust how it progresses through time. So I'm going to use the timeline to do that. So I'm going to start this with a normal face at frame 1. So I just want to verify on the timeline I have 1 and press enter, and happy face value 0. That's good. So I'm going to do set key on this. Now let's say by frame 50 I want it to have transitioned to the full happy face. So I'm going to type 50 here, I'm going to press enter, and then I'm going to drag the slider for happy face all the way to the value 1. And then I'll do set key again. I'm going to go ahead and repeat this in periodic segments so that it kind of iterates between. So I type 100, press enter, take the value back to 0, do set key, and I'm going to repeat that up until 200, 15, 150, enter, take the value back to 1, set key, and then 200, enter, take the value back to 0, set key. So now I should be able to preview. Obviously I want to preview from the beginning, so I'm going to click the beginning button on the slider, and I'm going to position so that it's easier to see. And now I can press play and we should be able to see what it does. So you can see it goes to happy face and then back to normal, and happy again by frame 150, and then back to normal by 200. So that is how you use Blendshapes to create animations for your characters in Maya.